Great morning. Great morning. Let me slide this back a little bit. Hey, you guys, come on in. Come on in. And while you're coming in, I'm going to go in and share the broadcast. Great morning, you guys. Great morning. Hold on. Let me go ahead and share. You guys do the same. Let me know who's here and go ahead and share the broadcast. This is going to be fire, right? You know, sometimes I get them and I'm like, hey, this about to be fire, okay? This about to be that fire, that one. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, baby, thank you for sharing. So check this out. Check this out. Um, this morning, hey, Christina, how are you, gorgeous? Hey, Jackie, good to see you, beautiful. Hey, Daddy, I miss you too. You thought you were that one? What you mean, babe? Oh, the fire. Fire. Okay, and you are. Listen, listen. Look, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, baby. I was standing in the bathroom, and God spoke to me, and I said, "Ooh!" Like my baby was like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?" But baby, this when you know it's about to be like one of those, and they've been like that lately. But this revelation, my God, yes, love. Daddy Tim said, "Good morning, Big Papa." Thank you for sharing, Jackie. Hey, Corey, great morning, gorgeous. Listen, 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 listen. This one is worth the wait. It's worth the wait. It's worth me coming on later for. Because let me tell y'all something. I was sitting in the bathroom and I was thinking about destiny and purpose, right? They're not the same thing. You can be in purpose and not reach destiny, but you can't reach your destiny without being in purpose. That part right there, as my husband would say. Hey, Catherine, Dr. Betts, how are you, gorgeous? Listen, catch this. You can be in purpose and purpose driven and not reach destiny, but you can't be destiny driven and not be in purpose. Huh? What y'all said? Huh? Look, you've got to, it's great to be purpose driven. It's great to want to operate in purpose, to be in your purpose. That's great. But what's greater than just being purpose driven is being destiny driven. Why? When you're destiny driven, you're not only living your life in purpose, on purpose, for purpose, but you are also driven towards that place that God has ordained for you to be. That place, the place of destiny for your life. See, you can live in purpose and not reach destiny because you're disciplined off. You can live in purpose and not reach destiny because you're distracted. You can live in purpose and be purpose driven and not reach destiny because you refuse to deal with your character flaws. Look, let me tell y'all something. where we are in this season, this season, remember, we're closing out quarter one. Q1 is coming to a close at the end of this month. We're going into quarter two. What does that mean? It means there is a shift. It means there is a shift. Look, we've been in March Madness. And March Madness, for those of you who are basketball fans, is the time when you got the Sweet 16 going on. Top 16 teams, they're playing against each other in an effort to get to the championship to win the big game. Okay? Jackie Dad said, good morning. Good to see you, Dad. Miss you. Good morning, Kareem. So this is the thing about March Madness. Some stuff has shaken March Madness up and made it mad, right? Some teams that were top teams have been beaten by lower ranked teams, and it's kind of thrown some things off. The team that people thought would probably be the team to beat in the championship got beat in the first round, right? They were in purpose, right? Their purpose was to play, da-da-da-da-da. But there was a team that was looking at destiny. Let me tell y'all something about how you move when you're looking at destiny versus you're just looking at your purpose. Your purpose, listen, my purpose is to educate, right? Anytime I'm educating, I'm in purpose, right? But my destiny is to educate masses, to help people get to the place where they're their best version of themselves. They know who they are in God. They are rooted and they are able to be who God has created them to be and fulfill, manifest their destiny. Angel number 133. Now look, check this out, because I need y'all to understand this. Look, when you are driven by your destiny, you won't let anything or anyone get in your way. When you are purpose driven, as long as you are still able to walk out your purpose, the other things can still exist. They can still exist. But when you're destiny driven, if it threatens your reaching destiny, you'll deal with it, you'll cut it off, even if what you got to cut off is in you. I'm talking about destiny driven versus purpose driven. Many of us have lived our lives trying to live in purpose, on purpose, and for a purpose. I'm living my life for purpose. I am purpose driven. I am living my life the way that God has created me to live my life. But just because I live my life that way doesn't guarantee I will get to my destiny. Thank you, Nicole. That's God. It doesn't mean that. To me, that was revelatory. Do you know why I was so Listen, let me tell you when this began to hit me. Yesterday, Summerlin said, destiny driven. I said, ooh, that hit my spirit. I said, ooh. And God began to speak to me about it this morning. He said, listen, you can live your life in purpose and not reach your destiny. And I said, wow, God. I said, that's deep. He said, think about it. You've been an educator, but you still didn't get to your destiny. Now, what is different now versus then? I said, well, God, I'm really dealing with me. Like, I always have dealt with me, but I'm finally in a place where I understand some of the deeper things about me that have driven me that I didn't understand why I felt like that or why I was like that, or my understanding was very surface and now my understanding is much deeper. See, we good as long as we just deal with the surface. Like we surface people, we like to surf the surface. We don't want to go deeper. We're not trying to go deep sea diving. Huh? We're not trying to go skydiving because both of them require you going down. Don't nobody want to go down. Down, 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 down. Listen, we want to go up. We don't want to go down. But until you go down and dig deep, You can't go up and elevate to the place that God is trying to take you. So meanwhile, while you're trying to be surfing on the surface, you're missing dealing with those deep things, not just the deep things of you, but the deep things of God. The deep things of God require you to stop looking at the word of God on the surface, taking everything literally. Everything was not written to be taken literal. See, we live in a very literal society, right? The United States of America, the Western world is very literal. There's not the nuanced deepness that you often find in Eastern cultures. Why? Because it looks at everything in pieces. It looks at the pieces. But some stuff you can only understand when you look at the totality of it, the whole picture. You can't see the whole picture because you're looking at this piece and this piece, and this piece and this piece, and it's not coming together. Why? Because it is not that the whole is equal to the sum of the parts, but the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. There's more to the whole than just the two pieces. See, when you look at marriage and you say the two become one, right? The two become one, right? If you just look at each individual, you're not getting the full picture. You're not getting the totality of it because something unique is created when the two become one. It is different from the individuals. It is a whole new entity. And that is why you hear me talking about becoming the Johnsons, right? Because becoming the Johnsons is more than Dr. Veronica Joe Wiggins Johnson and Timothy T. Johnson. It is something unique that is becoming, it is being created, right? But if all you do is look at our individual parts, you'll never understand the big picture. You'll never understand the Johnsons because you're looking at me or you're looking at him, but you're not looking at what's created through the symbiotic relationship. My God, today I said symbiotic. Symbiotic means it is working together. It influences each other mutually. When you have a symbiotic relationship, each thing affects the other and changes its essence. Google it. Symbiotic. Matter of fact, let me go one better. Let me look it up and I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. Y'all, because God is trying to take us deeper. 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 Listen, symbiotic. Involving interaction between two different organisms living in close physical association. You can't get more symbiotic than marriage. Listen to me. Denoting a mutually beneficial relationship between different people or groups. Huh? God is trying to take us to a place where we understand deeper things in him. Let me tell y'all something. Jesus had a symbiotic relationship with the disciples. What was it? It was mutually beneficial. Now, it wasn't one-sided. It wasn't that the disciples only benefited from Jesus. Jesus benefited from the disciples. You got to understand that. Listen, Mary and Martha, the siblings of Lazarus, had a symbiotic relationship with one another. See, Martha was concerned about the natural things. She wanted to make sure the place looked good, everything was organized, the food was ready, all that was together. But Mary understood that there was something greater to be desired, and that was the relationship with their Lord. That's why Martha got mad at Mary. Martha got mad at Mary. She was mad at Mary because how dare you sit at the feet of Jesus, absorbing all of that juiciness, all of that goodness, all of that word, all of that spirit. And I'm over here trying to make sure that the place is clean, that we got enough food, we got enough dishes. But look, if Martha had not been handling the food and the organization, Mary would not have been able to sit at the feet of Jesus. But if Mary and Martha had been both doing the organizing and preparing the food, neither one of them would have had access to the message that Jesus was giving. Then they both would have missed out. See, instead of Martha understanding that she was operating in her spiritual gift and Mary was operating in her spiritual gift, and when they came together, it was going to be an amazing thing because they would have had all the things that they needed done. My husband said, go us, take us all the way. Yes, listen. Yes, Kareem. Martha was a place. Listen, I challenge you. Those of you who have done No More Sabotage, you understand the saboteurs. Go back and read the Bible and see if you see the saboteurs even in biblical times. Go back and look. Go back and look. See if you can identify from the way people were talking, from the way they moved, from what they did, from the stories they're involved in. If you can identify their saboteurs. What saboteurs were at play? These things are not new, for there is nothing new under the sun. Everything has always existed. When you understand that, you will stop thinking that everything is problematic. Come on, y'all. I'm just trying to help somebody today. Oh, you're purpose driven, but you ain't destiny driven, because you will allow things that fit in your purpose to prevent you from your destiny. Now, y'all may say, how can something that fits within my purpose prevent me from getting to destiny? Yes, it's in your purpose to teach. It's in your purpose to serve in the local church. But serving in the local church, if it interferes with your ability to get to your destiny, you'll have to make a decision you're unwilling to make, because all you see is purpose and not destiny. My God, today, I wish I had somebody on here today who understood that destiny and purpose are not the same. Angel number 144. Destiny and purpose are not the same. You say purpose driven, I'm going to say destiny driven. Why? As long as I am destiny driven, I will always be in my purpose. I'll always be in my purpose, and my destiny may not look like what you think I ought to be doing. Get clear about your destiny, and you won't get stuck solely focused on your purpose. We miss out on so much. We miss out on so much because we're unwilling to let go of the stuff that's preventing us from getting to destiny. One thing about me, I mean this with every fiber of my being, I refuse to allow anything or anyone to prevent me from getting to destiny. And I refuse to be the thing that prevents others from getting to theirs. So guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth when you don't want to hear the truth. Because your destiny is worth more than the pleasing of your ears or the comforting of your spirit. I didn't come to be your comforter. Jesus said, I came to bring division. He brought division. He said, you will have father against son, mother against daughter. Listen to me. We scared to be in opposition with anybody for our destiny. You'll never get to destiny being afraid of being in opposition to someone. I'm not talking about being disrespectful, but I'm talking about understanding when you got to make a destiny move. Angel number 155. Destiny moves require a different kind of movement, a different kind of sight, a different kind of spirit. And yet everyone has a destiny, but not everyone will get there. Everyone has a destiny, but not everyone will get there. Do you know why everyone won't get to destiny? Because 90% of people are not willing to do the hard stuff. They're not willing to do it. They're not willing to do hard work. They're not willing to take a hard look at themselves. They're not willing to take a hard look at their choices. They're not willing to take a hard look at the part that they've played in the situations that have evolved in their life. They're not willing to. It's not that they can't. It's not that they're incapable of it. It's that they choose not to do it. I choose to look at every situation in my life and examine my part. All of them. Even the ones that I felt like for years were someone else's fault. All of them. What role did I play in this? How did my response affect it? time to grow up. Our problem is we want to say we grown, but we don't want to do grown people stuff. And I'm not talking about having sex. I'm talking about doing the deep work. Listen, there's a difference between thousandaires, millionaires, and billionaires. You know what the difference is? Work. Not how hard you work, because thousandaires will work real hard for their thousands. But willingness to stretch beyond that comfort zone. Thousandaires tend to be very comfortable where they are. They just want just enough to pay the bills. They're content with what they've got. They may say they want to be a millionaire, but they don't want to do millionaire things. They want to do the millionaire things that are outward, but they don't want to do the inner work that leads you to be a millionaire. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Millionaires don't think like thousandaires. Thousandaires are concerned about a job. Millionaires are concerned about business and investments. They understand that true wealth doesn't come from a job. They understand that true wealth comes from something that is inside of you and investing in things, casting the seeds of the bread on the waters, because you don't know which one is going to come back to you. Investing in multiple things. Thousandaires will buy a share of stock in a single company. I'm just going to do this right here. I'm going to leave this right here. They're like the man that was given the one talent. I'm going to bury it because, I don't know. I don't want you to be disappointed in me. I don't, matter of fact, I'm not even going to invest. I'm just going to put it right here, bury it in the ground, put it in a savings account that doesn't get any real interest. I'm just going to put it right here in the safe, right here. It's safe. Thousandaires operate in safety. Millionaires take risk. They may lose it. So what? They'll make it again. That's their philosophy. That's their mentality. Billionaires are different from millionaires. Millionaires have mastered it on one level, but billionaires have mastered it on another level. The level of risk they're willing to take is greater. You say it's greater because they have more. That's how they got more. They were willing to take greater risk, but they were educated risk. They were not random risk. They were educated risk. What's the difference between the TD Jakes of the storefront and the TD Jakes enterprises? What's the difference? What's the difference? You say it's the same man. It is, but it's not. The way TD Jakes thought when he was in the storefront evolved and changed over time. Now, you all may say, well, he ain't really no real preacher of the gospel. He's an inspirational speaker, not a preacher. He's a speaker. You may say all of that, but let me tell you something. He had a destiny God was getting him to. And all of this is a part of his destiny. If he got off track on some things spiritually or in the spiritual realm, that's between him and God. But let me tell you what he did do. He saw something bigger. He knew that there was more. There will be many people who start in a storefront and die in a storefront. Are you telling me that the storefront was their destiny? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that was it? That God ordained them to only touch the lives of 20, 30 people? Is that what you're telling me? You saying that was their destiny? That was it? Maybe. But if God shows you more, then you know that ain't your destiny. So for you to stay there, you may be in your purpose, but you're not walking in destiny. There's a difference. You can be walking in your purpose and not walking your destiny. If your destiny is bigger than what you're currently doing, then it's your job to figure out what is preventing you from getting to your destiny. What is it that you need to learn? What is it that you need to let go? Who is it that you need to let go? Where is it that you need to move from? What do you need to do differently? Because I promise you, if you're not already in destiny, there's something that God is honing in you. There's something that God is doing in you. What is it that God is trying to do in you that you are somehow resisting? Panama City is a part of my destiny, but it's not my destiny. I won't die in Panama City. This is not where I die. This is not where my story ends, but it's where my story is right now. So there are clearly things that I have to learn and have to do in Panama City as it relates to my destiny, but they are not solely my destiny. That means that anything in Panama City that begins to interfere with my ability to get to my destiny, I must deal with, I must address. And if I don't have the courage to do that, because it requires courage, don't be fooled. It requires courage to deal with the stuff that you need to deal with, courage to have the difficult conversations, courage. Do you have the courage required for your destiny? Or are you afraid? Afraid that if I have this conversation, afraid that if I do this, afraid if I go here, that I'm going to lose something or someone. I absolutely love my husband, but I desire my destiny in God more than my husband. He loves me too, but he desires his destiny in God more. Do you understand? You've got to get to the place where your destiny is what's before you. And you're willing to let go, cut off. If your hand offended you, cut it off. Better to get to destiny with one hand than to not get to destiny and have two. If it's your eye, pluck it out. In other words, don't look at that. It's better to get to destiny with one eye or no eyes than to not get to destiny and have both. Because if your eyes are the things that's betraying you, if your eyes are the thing, what you see is, it's better to be blind and not be able to see than to be able to see and let what you see take you off course for your destiny. Don't be purpose driven and miss your destiny. You feel good about yourself because you're in your purpose. But are you working towards your destiny? That's my question. That's great. Congratulations. That's a step. That's part of it. But it's not all of it. We convinced ourselves as long as we're purpose driven, we'll get to our destiny. Not necessarily. Because being purpose driven just means that you're focused on being in purpose, on purpose, for purpose. Being destiny driven means that you address the things that need to be addressed, that are preventing you from getting to your destiny. Angel number 155. You can be purpose driven and not get to destiny. You can't be destiny driven and not be in purpose. So if you're destiny driven, you're automatically in purpose. God, I thank you for that revelation. Summerlin, I thank you for saying destiny driven. Listen, let me tell y'all something. If you don't have people in your life that spark things, you got the wrong people in your life. Somebody text and tell Tasha to log out and log back in. Somebody put that comment in for me. Tell her to log out and log back in. Go out and come back. I'm going to share some things with you about me. Okay. And maybe it'll help some things make sense. Because sometimes I know I probably come across a little harsh, you know. I was talking to one of my squad yesterday and y'all, they know I love them. They know I want nothing but the best for them. They know I'm concerned about them. But I don't always respond the way they want me to respond. But they get to the point where they can kind of anticipate my responses, right? They can kind of anticipate my responses or lack thereof, right? Thank you, Roz. They can kind of anticipate my responses. So one of them put a comment, they sent me a message, right? And I ain't gonna put on blast. She sent me a message. I looked at the message and I basically repeated what I said yesterday. And I said, go through the pain, it's okay. That was it. That was it. Some hours later, I video called. Some hours later, I video called her. And she said, I said, hey, beautiful, how are you? She was like, I'm better. I was like, great. Because I ain't going there with no negative energy, no down energy. And we start talking. Good morning, man of God. How are you? Baby Tasha said, share it to her. And she said, maybe she'll be able to hear it that way. So, you know, we're talking. And she said, angel number 155. So this is for you. You know who you are. She said, I just knew when I sent you that message that if anybody called me, you were going to call me. No, because I just talked about that this morning. I just told y'all about the whole thing that I went through with those 2 teeth that I had to get pulled. I told you how painful it was, but if I had not gone through the pain, I wouldn't have gotten to the promise, which was those teeth out and able to eat without dealing with those teeth, right? That the temporary pain that I had to go through was necessary for me to get to the other side. Just told y'all that. I'm not having that conversation again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait because you watched the live. I'm going to let you dig deep. Then I'm going to call you. Because then I'm going to remind you to what we just talked about. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting ready to do the whole live all over again. But what I will do is call you and let you know. I know you got this. Check your mind, your thought process. I'm going to bring it back to reality. Back to life. Back to reality. Listen, back to the here and now. Oh, listen, angel number 155. Listen. Hey, Denise. Great morning, beautiful. Listen to me. The problem with some of y'all is all your friends is broke and sick and crying, so can't nobody speak life. Everybody's speaking death. Everybody in the same shape. Everybody in the same boat. Everybody broke. Everybody sick. Even if you have dis-ease in your body, you got to be able to speak life to you and to those around you. And sometimes it is in speaking life to those around you that it reminds you that that same life that you're speaking to them comes back to you. When people be talking to their kids, talking about their kids, my little broke friend. My kids ain't broke. My grandchildren ain't broke. They're not my little broke friends. No, they're wealthy. The wealth of the wicked is laid up specifically for them, and it has their name written on it. Huh? We just waiting for the physical manifestation of that which God has already done in the spirit. We are billionaires. I don't want to be no millionaire. I mean, a millionaire on my way to billionaire, but I'm focused on the billion. That means that rather than focusing simply on getting a millionaire mindset, I get a billionaire mindset. The billionaire mindset will automatically cause me to hit millionaire status. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it will not limit me. Along the way, yes, I can set goals and achieve those goals, those benchmarks on my way. But baby, my mind is for the billions. I appreciate the house I'm in currently, but I'm already looking at the house God has for me. House says with an S. Do you understand what I'm saying? finally got to the point where you live in your purpose, but you're scared of your destiny. Your destiny frightens you to the core because destiny requires you to change. And not to change in a bad way, but to become more of who God created you to be. You ain't even becoming a whole new person. You're becoming who you were originally designed to be. You're shedding skin. That's why we got to go deep. We got to shed layers. You're shedding skin. Every layer of skin a snake will ever have is already on its body when it is born. It just sheds one skin for another layer to come forward. Have you ever thought about that? God, that's deep. That just hit me. All of the layers of skin a snake will have in its entire lifetime already exists inside of it when it is born, when it is hatched, when it comes out the egg. While it's in the egg, it's in the cells. Do you understand? And when it's born, everything that it needs is already there. And it simply sheds skin each year. Think about that. Everything that you need was already in you when you were born. Everything. And as life happens, you add layers on. And in order to get to that place where you are who God created you to be, you got to peel the layers out. You got to shed that skin, that old skin that limits you. Stop limiting yourself. Angel number 177. Stop limiting yourself. You limit yourself, you won't tap in. You tap out. You won't tap in, you tap out. Let me tell you what I know for sure and for certain. Nothing concerning my life has ever been accidental. Not a single encounter, not a single relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, even just sexual relationship, even them, they had purpose too. There is nothing that I've gone through in life, no loss I've experienced, that God did not know was going to happen. And if God knew it was going to happen, oh, he had a plan to make it work for my good. How do I know? Because his word declares, and we know this, and we have this assurance. We know with all certainty that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. All of them. There's nothing that's ever happened in my life that didn't work for me. And it wasn't somehow connected to getting me to destiny. Everything in Jesus' life was designed to get him to destiny. What was his destiny? His destiny was to die on the cross, be buried, and to be resurrected so that he could fulfill his great commission, his great purpose, his great destiny. You understand? And it's not done. He's yet got more. Stop allowing people, even if the people is you, to prevent you from getting to destiny. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I think one of your greatest adversaries in getting to destiny is enabling. I'm going to talk about me for a minute. Let me talk about me for a minute. Lest y'all think I'm talking about y'all. Let me talk about me for a minute, okay? I remember I was in Lexington, in school. I was in undergrad, and I had a baby, right? Had a baby. And my oldest son, Trevellis. And I remember I kept running into the same financial problem over and over and over and over and over again, right? So there was a family that lived across the street from me. He worked at the university. She was amazing. I'm talking about an incredible family, very well connected. They had kind of taken me in, adopted me as theirs, right? And I remember I kept having this financial problem, and I remember going to them, and I went to them a few times, right? And so they loaned me some money, right? So whenever I would have a financial crisis, I would go to them. And, I remember one time they said, listen, we love you, but we can't keep helping you. You're going to have to figure it out. My daddy tells the story of going to my grandfather, right? So my grandfather had all this property, all these houses and stuff, but he also had a whole lot of women. He had a whole lot of women on that. My granddaddy was, yeah, okay. He was that dude, okay? Even as an older man, he had young women, middle-aged women. Like, he had all the women. All the women wanted him because you could get a house. You can get a house. You might get a house, girl. You might front up on a house. Y'all just trying to tell y'all how my granddaddy rolled. So my daddy tells a story that he called my grandfather. He said, Dad, I need X amount of money. He said, I can't help you. You need to pray. And he said, well, I already prayed. He said, well, you didn't pray right. You need to pray again. So my daddy was mad. He was like, honey, he just don't want to help me. I'm not fooling with him no more. Y'all know how we do. When we hit cutoff with people, right? So listen, my daddy said he started praying. He was talking to God. And God said, I'm his daddy too. I've been waiting for you to come to me because I'm his daddy too. And God not only did what my daddy needed, but he exceeded it greatly. But it required him going to God for himself. When I told you all the other day the story about having church members and then having someone tell me, oh, I was a bad pastor because I stopped paying their bills. And I said, she said, well, don't you think you're doing them a disservice? I said, I did them a disservice when I kept doing it. Should have cut it off sooner. Let me tell you something. If you are constantly being enabled, you'll never get to your destiny. You know why? You won't figure it out. You won't press in. You won't seek the one with all the answers. You understand? So you in the church and you always going to your pastor for the answer. Well, pastor, this is my problem. And what you think I should do? Your pastor tells you what he or she thinks you should do. You do it or you don't do it. But you in another situation, you go back to your pastor. Pastor gives you the answer. You do it or you don't do it. You in another situation, you go back to the pastor. The pastor gives you an answer. You do it, you don't do it, whatever it is, you in another situation, what you gonna do? You're gonna go back to the pastor, right? Now look, if the pastor tells you or asks you, well, what did God say about it? Then who you gonna go to? You gotta go to God. If every time you have a situation, you go to the pastor and the pastor says, well, what did God say about it? You're gonna go to God, which is who you need to go to in the first place. I learned some valuable lessons in my time pastoring. And one of them was not to give people all the answers. To send them to the one who created them. Because when they get the answer from God, they know they got the answer. Now, if they come back and they say, well, I prayed and I asked God about this and this is what he said, I can say, I feel that. I'm in agreement with that. Now, it don't matter if I'm in agreement with it because God said it. But see, they know that God said it. Listen, I want y'all to hear me. Stop relying on people for your answer and go to the one who created you because he has every answer that you will ever need concerning your life. Am I saying that you don't ever listen to a prophet or go to a prophet or go to your pastor or your apostle, the evangelist, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we are very dependent on people. Stop depending on people and depend on the God that is the people's God too. Angel number 188. He has every answer you need. Every answer. And normally if he says something to me, he's already said it to you. He's just using me as a confirming tool. I am a confirmation tool. I confirm what God has already spoken. You didn't tell me that God spoke it, but I know what he told me. So when I tell you, you're like, ooh, wow, that's confirmation. That's why when I give y'all a prophetic word and y'all be like, ooh, that's confirmation because God just talked to me about that. Me and God was just having this. I just was talking to God about this, and then you say this, right? Listen. Never replace God with a human being or he will remove that human being from your life. Did y'all hear what I said to y'all? Never replace God with a human being. Because the moment you make that person your God, God will remove that person from your life one way or another. Even if it means death to the person. Huh? He's going to remove them. Stop making people your God. Stop making people your God. One of the reasons I started very early with my children, teaching them to make decisions, is because I knew that they were going to have to be able to make decisions and go to God for themselves. So I would ask them, well, did you pray about it? No, ma'am. I said, well, pray about it and see what God says. I needed them to know that they can hear from God just like me. I needed them to understand that I was not their solution, that God was their solution. I needed them to understand it because I needed them to have a level of independence that would allow them to lean back into God and not into me. And when I got confused and I became their God, oh, I had to be moved. I was moved all the way to North Carolina. And they had to figure stuff out on their own. They could always talk to me, but it wasn't the same as me being right there watching them go through stuff and automatically stepping in and fixing it. And what I see now is a greater level of independence. See, listen, let me tell y'all something. My baby boy did not like to work, okay? But I raised them to not work jobs, right? To run businesses, make money on your own terms, on your own time. But because they didn't always take advantage of what they were learning, they weren't applying it. Now they have to work jobs and build their business when they could have built their business when they did not have a job. So now they've had to go back and have jobs with an S and build their businesses. Still do the things that they're passionate about. Don't let that go now. Don't let that go. You work your job to get the money that you need to fund your business. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But have a business. You got too much talent, too much in you. So the baby boy was a little lazy. My fault. I guilt parented. I did. I guilt parented because I was in a marriage where he didn't treat my kids the way they should have been treated. And the baby probably got the brunt of it. Okay? So I spent the rest of his years guilt parenting, trying to make up for the things that he went through. Guilt parenting is not a good thing. Okay? Listen, at some point, as parents, we have to come to grips with what we didn't do, what we didn't get right, when we weren't present. We got to come to grips with all that, and we got to do what's in the best interest of our child's future, not their right now. Sometimes we gotta let them be uncomfortable in their right now. So my baby boy, uncomfortable in his right now. Mom, you got da 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 da. Mom, you got da 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 da. Mom, you got da 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 da. It used to be mom, but I done became mom. Okay, so I had to tell him, son, you got to figure it out. Either you're going to make money from your business enough to meet your needs. And he's not real demanding. He's never been real demanding. He's never been that child that asked for a whole lot. And that's another reason that I would do, because he didn't ask for a lot, right? But he got to be independent. He got to be. Why? He's a male. He's a young man. So there are things that I've deposited in him as a man that are expectations, have expectations. Y'all, listen. You never need to be in a position where you rely on a woman to take care of you unless you're sick. You've been handling it, but you got sick. You can't handle it. And hopefully even then you put a contingency plan in place so that you can invest in some money that you can draw upon when you're down. Okay? I need you to be thinking like, I need you to be the man that think like that. Okay? So he has stepped up his game. And this is when I knew he had stepped his game up. Okay? And he was understanding some stuff on a different level. He was maturing. Okay? His girlfriend flew into town for her little brother's funeral. He made sure she had a ride from the airport, because he doesn't have a car. She had a ride from the airport. She had a ride to the funeral. She had a place to stay. Like, he made sure that those things were in order. That she had a ride to the airport to leave. Right. He made sure that those things were in order. And when he came up short, he said, Mom, and he didn't even come up short. Let me say this. Because her money was tied up, or she had spent the last of it, something. I didn't want her to travel with no money. So I pulled some cash out. I gave him the cash and I said, listen, this is for her so that when she's traveling, she doesn't, she got some money, right? She's not traveling with no money. And he said, Mom, I was going to send her some money. Okay, I understand. Just add that to it. Because I believe in rewarding that effort and that work. Now check this out. There was a time he wouldn't have done that like that. He wouldn't have. But me being away forced my boys to grow up. Me not immediately solving problems forced my boys to grow up. Because guess what? I'm looking at them as boys, but they're men. They're men. And men need to take care of themselves, and they need to take care of their families. They're men. And I know the kind of men that I want them to be. I don't want to be having conversations with their wives and they telling me, well, he's not paying none of the bills and he won't get up and go to work and he's always on the game. I don't want those conversations because I'm going to be pissed off. What? Look, any guilt you experience or you're experiencing from the way that you've parented your children, you're going to have to release that guilt so that you can be the parent they need and not the friend they love. You understand? So that you can be the parent they need and not the friend they love, but the parent they love. You always have a parent that try to be the parent that everybody's like, oh my God, you're my favorite parent. I don't care if I'm their favorite parent. I want to be the one that they say, Mama, when you taught me this, this is why I can do this. That's the parent I want to be. Okay? You ain't got to love me. You ain't even got to like me. I don't care. But I want you to say that you put me up on game. You taught me how to do this. You taught me how to do. That's what I want. But Gil have you doing some crazy-ish. I know. I've been there. So I'm not saying it with judgment. I'm just saying it. It's time for us to prepare them to pursue their destiny. You can't get to destiny in survival mode. That means you got to move from surviving to thriving. You got to know what your saboteurs are. You got to know how you engage in self-sabotage. You got to know that stuff. One of the things that I do with my kids is I give them the opportunity to take my classes. Hey, look, I'm doing this class. You know, I really think you should take it. I think it'll be really good for you. All right. They don't get on. I start offering. Now, when they take my classes, they're going to have to pay for them. I'm not paying. I'm not giving. No, because when I tried to give, you didn't receive. So now you got to just pay for it. Because guess what? My knowledge is valuable. My time is valuable. See, people only value stuff to the degree that you require them to value it. If you don't value it, they're not going to value it. Okay. I can show you better than I can tell you. When my family takes my courses, they pay. They pay. I might work a little something out with them, but they pay. Some people would say, well, that's not right. You shouldn't charge them. You don't charge yours. I'm charging mine because I tried for too long to give them stuff that they didn't receive. No. Mm-mm. No, everybody got to pay something. You got to pay something. You got to pay something. You got to pay something. Yeah. My husband pays for stuff. Now, I don't make him pay, but he pays because he values my time. He pays. He would ask me a question like, well, how much is that? And I tell him, he'll shoot it to me. Even if he's paying for someone else. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Listen, if you're going to get to destiny, you got to get willing to have uncomfortable conversations, real conversations with people. You may lose some people. Some people might not like you. Then you like, so what? And I'm telling you something. For y'all super saved people, y'all not going to like this. But let me tell y'all where I be on some stuff. I be on a F them. You say, oh my God, that's so harsh. No. You sitting up worried about people that ain't worried about themselves. That take advantage of you, that use you, that abuse you, that mistreat you, that talk to you crazy. F them. Put the F in that works for you. I know which one I put in. Stop being so concerned about people that you miss your destiny. Angel number 199. Stop it. You so busy trying to protect people in your story that you can't get free. Because you don't want to hurt nobody. I didn't want nobody to be hurt. I don't want nobody to feel. You know God told you to tell the story. You won't tell the story because you don't want to hurt nobody. And wonder why you in bondage. Won't tell the truth. Maintain a lie. Not doing it. I want destiny. Yeah, I want to live my life in purpose. I've been in purpose, but I haven't hit destiny. So what is it in me that I haven't dealt with that I need to deal with? God, show me me. Show me me. That's been my prayer. God, show me me. Let me see me. And the moment I try to get judgmental about somebody who'll show me me, be like, hey, remember, I'll be like, oh, yeah. I ain't got no judgment for you. I get it. It doesn't change the fact that there are things that we just have to change. We have to change us. We do. We have to do the hard work. We got to dig deep. We got to ask ourselves the question, why? Why am I in this situation? Why am I in this place? Why am I still here? Why? And be honest with yourself. Why was I married 5 times and divorced 5 times before my forever love, my forever husband? Why? Because I didn't feel like the man that I wanted, that I deserved him. The man who would really just take full care of me. I didn't feel like I deserved that. I didn't feel like I deserved it. So I settled. It was only when I made up my mind that I refused to settle anymore, that even if it meant that I was by myself, which getting a man ain't never been an issue for me, or keeping one, that ain't never been an issue. I'm usually the one that throws up the deuces. I'm usually the one that walks away. Because I know it's a line, bruh. It's a line. It's a line. But who's in the line is the question. Stop placating yourself by saying, oh, well, I'm living my life in purpose. But is your purpose guiding you to your destiny? Or are you just in purpose? Summerlin said, God has been my first defense and not my last resort. And my problem is I'm too darn lazy with a capital L, and I make too many stupid excuses. I'm tired of throwing away chances that God gives me, my transparency. Thank you for being transparent, Summerlin. But guess what? What do I always tell you? Your ladder shall be greater. Your ladder shall be greater. So I'm going to tell you something. Everything that you've gone through, Summerlin, I've always said this to you. I've always said this to you. Listen, God getting ready to use you big in the latter days of your life. And you're going to give people hope. He's going to use you big in the latter days of your life, and you're going to give people hope. I love that you're so transparent. I love that you understand what your issue is. Now let's get to work, because we got stuff to do. You got lives to change. Come on now. Thank you, Antoine. Great morning, sir. So, look, y'all know how I be about solutions. I ain't gonna sit on here and talk to y'all about the problem and not offer up a solution. Dr. V, what's the solution? You gotta deal with you. You can't get to destiny and not deal with you. You got to be real with yourself. You got to deal with the stuff from your childhood and how it's impacted you. And it does not have to take a long time for you to do it. Okay? Look, I'm doing my 6-week supercharge. No more sabotage, supercharge. Okay? Now, why is that significant? Because listen, research shows. Y'all heard what I said? I meant that too. I'm being for real. I'm not making this up. Research shows, I done changed the banner. Lord Jesus, help me, Father. There you go. Research shows that you literally can change your neural pathways, the way your brain automatically works. Neural pathways are listen, after we engage in certain behaviors repeatedly, it's naturally what happens when a situation occurs. You naturally do that because that's the neural pathway. Okay, this happened, now do this, right? It naturally goes like that. The part of your brain that you rely on, it naturally shows up because it's what you've been habitually doing. And we automatically go to our reptilian brain, which is our natural brain, which is our animalistic brain, which is our survival brain. We automatically go there. Unless we reprogram our brain. And guess what? We can reprogram our brain. I know y'all thinking, well, this is all the way I always been. It is not how you have to always be. Because it's how you've always been doesn't mean it has to be how you're always going to be. You can change that. Scientifically, research shows that the brain centers and the brain activity shifts When you begin to kill your saboteurs, you use a different part of your brain. You begin to activate that part of the brain, and that part of the brain begins to get more activity, new neural pathways. You can change the way your brain is wired. You can change it. I can't go in and change it, but you can change it. But it requires effort, decision, commitment. No more sabotage is a way to identify your saboteurs. You may say, well, Dr. B, I haven't taken the no more sabotage class. When you sign up for the Supercharge, I'll give you the recordings of the 2-part class, and then you can pick up when we start. We're going to talk about those things in the beginning of the 6 weeks anyway. Listen, but you need to do something to change your life. Until Friday at midnight, you can get the No More Supercharged, the 6 weeks program for $300 base. The VIP with 2 one-hour sessions for $400, and the VIP 2 with 4 one-hour sessions. 4 one-hour sessions with me is about $500. So I'm gonna say this for those of y'all that get my time for free. Please appreciate it and value it. Please do. And I'm not being braggadocious or facetious or any of that. But if you are blessed enough to be in my life in a place where you get my time and I don't charge you every time we have a conversation, because I promise you, I drop $1 million nuggets every time I talk. Even on my lives. If you catch it and apply it, there's no way that your life shouldn't change if you're following me and applying this stuff, these nuggets that God is depositing in me for me to give to you. No way. No way your life shouldn't change. Something ought to change. You ought to change something. How you look at the world, how you look at yourself, how you look at your life. Come on now. How you apply the word of God. Come on. Something ought to change. If ain't nothing changing, please stop watching me because you're making me look bad. Please stop. Don't even tell nobody you watch me. Don't do it. Listen, I need you to capture the urgency of what's before you. It's urgent. Do you have another 6 months to go through the foolishness that you're going through? Do you have another 30 days to go through it? Are you content with your life the way it is? If you're not, change it. Look, I was talking to one of my proteges yesterday. I want to tell y'all how, listen, y'all got to pay attention. Y'all just pay attention. When I tell you that God talks to me about times and seasons, he does. When I tell you he talks to me about what's going on, he does. When I give you a prophetic word, know that it is a word coming directly from the mouth of God to you. But what you do with that is up to you. I ain't going to keep giving you word and you don't do nothing with it now. I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm just not. Listen. One of my daughters, goddaughter, spiritual daughter, whatever kind of daughter you want to call her, reached out to me 2 days ago. She said, what you doing? I need to chat. Well, I got my teeth pulled. I wasn't chatting with nobody. So yesterday, I reached out to her. We're talking. And we're talking business. And I'm telling her how proud I am of her as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a boss. Like, I'm proud of you. And we start talking, and she's sharing a situation with me. And I said, oh, yeah, you guys could let them go. You gotta let them go. I said, in fact, listen, this is what I said to her. I said, in fact, letting them go is the key to you getting to your next. It's some stuff that God want to do for you, but he ain't going to do it until you let them go. Okay? And you got to let them go before you can go into second quarter, because second quarter is going to be accelerated. Y'all, I'm telling you, the prophetic word for April, like I'm telling y'all, this word about to be real, real. I need y'all to get ready because we're going to do it. It's going to be a fast sometime in April, right? In the beginning of April. I'm not sure if it's going to be 3 days or 7 days yet, but it's going to be a fast, and it's going to be a water fast. Now, y'all fast how y'all want to fast, but I'm going to do a water fast because God is getting ready to do some stuff in the month of April. And there's some breakthrough that God is giving. Like, I need my whole quarter on fire. My whole quarter on fire. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I need my whole quarter on fire. Everything multiplied and magnified. I already put something before God. God, listen. I need to make $10,000 a month minimum. At least $10,000 a month. He already done put 5 before me for April. Cool. But I need to make 10. I got another 5 that got to come from somewhere. So God, whatever it is, you're going to have to show it to me. $10,000 a month. 10K a month. That's God, you already know where I'm trying. God, you know where we're going. I need at least that. Let's start there, and then we're going to elevate. Because I'm going to go from 10 to 100. If you can make 10, you can make 100. And if you can make 100, and you can make 250. Listen, there are things that, okay, I'm just talking about my part. That ain't even counting my husband's part. Just talking about my part. Okay? So, we're talking. She says, I know, Dr. V, I know you're right. I just, I was trying to hold, don't hold on to nobody. Let them go. Anybody that God needs to have you let go of, let them go. She said, you're right. It's done. Okay? 2 hours later, she calls me. She said, Dr. V, I was calling you to show you my new space. This is space I'm getting ready to go in, Dr. V. This is my space. Pray for me, Dr. V. Pray that this be my space. Pray that this is my space, Dr. V. Pray that I get this space. I said, the space is yours. That's why you had to let go of those people. You had to make it. See, God gonna see if you're gonna do what he tell you to do before he give you what he got for you. See, y'all thinking, oh, well, when God give me this, then I will. No. That ain't the way it works. You let go. You free fall, and then God will give you what you need. He'll give you what you need. Do you understand what I'm telling you? He'll give you what you need, but you got to be willing to free fall. See, you cannot skydive without there being an element of free fall. Before you open the parachute, you must engage in a free fall. You don't know when you're free falling if the parachute will open or not, but you got to have every confidence that you have jumped out of a perfectly good plane. You are free falling, and when you pull the cord, the parachute will open up. Some of y'all will never skydive because you're scared of the fall. You don't trust in the parachute. But you're going to always limit yourself. Whatever you fear, you have to face. Whatever you fear, you have to face. And sometimes what we fear is us. We fear really looking at us. We fear really dealing with us sabotaging ourselves. We don't want to acknowledge that. We don't want to acknowledge that we engage in self-sabotage, but everybody does to a degree until you face it and deal with it and kill it. You talk to any billionaire, what they will tell you is they had to deal with them. Dealing with them was the key. It wasn't the opportunities. Opportunities can come and you can mess them up because you ain't dealt with you and you sabotage. So she sent me a video. She was talking to herself. She said, congratulations on your new space. Da, 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 da. I could honor that. I made a video. I said, girl, I am so excited for you. Congratulations. I'm so excited for your new space. I'm so excited for what you're doing in this space and da, 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 for your new address, girl. You got a whole new address, girl. I'm so excited for you. And it all started with her having to let go of some people. Keep holding on to people, places, things beyond the time. that you're supposed to, and see how bad it ends up ending. Because what I've discovered is when God is ready for a thing to be done, if you don't do it willingly, he'll do it forcibly. And I don't believe in forcing God's hand because you can't control how he removes them from your life. Some things I do and some letting go of people I do for them because I don't want them to die. I don't want them to die. I don't want God to feel like the only way that person is going to be out of my life is if they're dead. I'll let you go before I let you die. Care too much to see you just die. So let me leave. Let me cut this off. Let me end this relationship. God wants more. He wants to see you walk out. Not just your purpose. Walk out your purpose and walk into your destiny. There's destiny on the line. Pursue it with reckless abandon and watch how God moves in your life. Listen, to register for the class, go to bit.ly/Nomo Supercharge 1. bit.ly/Nomo Supercharge 1. Classes start April 3rd. We are moving forward. We're going to dig deep so we can go up. True elevation, a dimensional shift in your life is waiting for you to make a decision. And if you allow money to be the thing that interferes with it, money will always be the thing that prevents you. Kareem said, I'm trying to do what God wants me to, but I need help and no one really wants to help me. Baby, listen, let me tell you this. God will send what you need when you need it. Chances are you probably think you need some people to do some stuff that you don't need them to do. Sometimes what we need is within us. We just don't see it yet. Mind the field. MINEFIELD. Mind the field. You are the field. There's more in you than you realize. Someone said, Dr. V, I'm hearing no more privacy. Well, I can tell you for me, what he said was my life was going to be on public display. At times it makes me a public mockery, but even in the mockery, people don't understand how they end up blessing me, right? When they're trying to mock me and make a mockery of my name and they share my videos, they don't even understand what they do. They impact the lives of people that may not even like me. You ain't got to like me for me to impact your life. God don't care if you like me or not. There's a reason that he has me do everything that I do. Terry, this is what I'm going to tell you. And I want you to call me. Look, your school is going to be franchised. Okay? Everything you're doing now is foundational. Your school is going to be franchised. And so as you are laying the foundation, lay it with the mindset of franchise. Don't just do it for that one location or be like, well, we're going to have multiple locations. No, you need to do it with the mindset of franchise. Do it with the mindset of franchise. I'm so freaking proud of you. I am so freaking proud of you and your hubby and what you guys are doing. But I always knew you had greatness in you. You know, I was really trying to put you with my oldest son, but you know, he would, yeah, you where you're supposed to be. But listen, even when you were younger, I always gravitated towards you. There's just so much greatness in you, you know, so spiritually, like, girl, listen, wealth is your portion. Wealth is your portion. Wealth is your portion. Someone said, my God, Terry, yes. Wealth is your portion. Watch what God does. Watch what God does. So, inbox me your number. Inbox me your number, and I'm going to call you. Look, I pray that this word has blessed you. I pray that you got something that you can use, that you will apply the word to your life. Don't just focus on your purpose. Focus on your destiny. Ask God to give you a glimpse of destiny. That glimpse of destiny can sustain you in the times when what you see with your natural eyes don't look like it. That's what vision boarding is about. It's about seeing destiny and getting the vision to focus on it. Every time I'm sitting here doing my lives, my vision board is right there, right? It's right there, one of them. I have multiples. I got to find my other ones. It's what happens when you move around too much. I got to find my other ones, but this is the one for us as a couple. So I'm waiting for my hubby to do his part of it, but I see the part that is already laid out. And what I know is this: there's nothing on that board that shall not be mine, because it already is. It already is. Hey, Rashay, how you doing, beautiful? Good to see you, gorgeous. All right, listen. Yesterday I told him, I said, hey, listen. Y'all, sow a destiny seed, a seed for your destiny. And some people have done just that. For those of you that have sown that destiny seed, I'm declaring a 100-fold return on what you sowed. Listen, God told me that this is a season of 100-fold, 100-fold, 100-fold. So he's giving a 100-fold return. Listen, put a name on the seed and watch what God does. You can do that at Cash App, $DRV Johnson 777. Cash App, $DRV Johnson 777. If you need my Zelle, my Venmo, let me know. I'll give you that information. But this is what I'm going to tell you is this: God has something in store for you, and he's not playing. Watch what he does. Look, I love you guys to life, and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.